everyone, happy new year, happy 2020, the best year for you. Hopefully it's gonna be this year, so far at least the best. And if you stumble upon our channel, welcome. It's a new year, new season sort of, and hope you'll stick around and continue join me every, at least maybe like twice a month or so, depends how much in time videos gonna come. So my name is Jurgita and my channel name is Magic Pond Crafts, and I have the same on Instagram, Magic Pond Crafts, and it's all about mostly stitching. Some little things that I do is like short life updates or something else that's interesting in like bi-weekly videos. But this one is gonna be all about my 2020 plans, at least tentative plans, because as we know, ideas change, wishes change sometimes, and something new might pop in that I really wanna like stitch in this year, and I'm not gonna hold myself back because that always happens, something cool coming up, and like maybe gift I want to stitch or something like this. So I try to prepare as much as possible. I got myself another what do you call it, like a journal that pretty much monthly with some few weekly thingies, and I have it all written and printed, like for example what are my whips that are coming from 2019, possible new starts. I might do separate video on how I try to organize, because I'm again in the magical school of stitching and literature. Would be my third year, so there's lots of homework happening in there and challenges, slightly different than last year. And I'm at the beach club resort sorted out. So, but that's about something totally different, and different videos, more updates. But this one is plans. Had last year about like sort of 11 finishes plus 3 round robins, but I'll show you just what I'm hoping to work on at least a little bit in 2020. So I looked up when I started which one's the oldest, so that's the way I put it in a row. And my oldest whip I have so far is Heaven and Earth Designs Mini Space Traveler. It's not print, you cannot get it anymore. And if I have sometimes pictures that I can put on instead of me flashing this way, then I'll put in. But so this is what it looks like. So I'm filming in evening. We just went to Mr. Murder dinner at Downton Abbey show, and so I look like sort of presentable to be in front of a camera. So this is the one I'm doing, and it's for Doctor Who's fans. Again, that's well-known police box, and I started this sometime in 2016. So according to my software programs that I can read the patterns now, 2 different ones I have. One is just for PDFs and another one for different types of formats. So I got about what, 60, I started with 66.5% done, and I'm really hoping to have it finished fully stitched in this year and the next year. So by like December of 2021, I'm hoping to have it fully done and stitched. I'm doing this on 18 count 2/1, and it has also Kreinik. Its size is 337 by 198, and it has 87 colors. And I already added some in those. Today is the 4th of January, and I've been stitching like obsessed on this work for my Magical School of Stitches put in, and extras. I just seems like I can't put it aside. It's like some kind of poltergeist got on me. So this is what it looks like. The Kreinik is all those bright, shiny spots that there are, and really stitching from electronic pattern reader is a lifesaver, because I've had so many places where I accidentally like skip like one stitch somewhere and I don't see it. But this way I know sometimes that I can skip on purpose, because like if there's one stitch here, there's gonna be like way more there, so I can just stitch that and then continue stitching this way. So this is what it looks like. You can see all the way to the bottom. So it's almost my what's that, 11-inch height frame. So yeah, I love it. And it's a full stitch, and there's gonna be some more color bursts in there. Like if you compare, what's left to do is this big colorful thing here and this bright thing there. We're probably we're gonna be using Krynic. So that's my eldest, and I also wrote down in my notebook what I'm hoping to finish this year, and if I can't, how much I'm hoping to add to it. So my goal for this is to reach 80% at least. So there's depends how much I'm gonna be stitching in it, because every project I pick it up, I cannot put it down. So I just want to continue, but other whips calling too. If you'll hear some noises, I have our new dog here, that's always by me wherever I am, and my eldest having friends over, because some of them are going off to college just after Christmas vacation. So anyway, this is again Mini Space Traveler, artwork by David Hofrichter. So it's very beautiful. So that's that. Then the second oldest left, I started that in February of 2017, is Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler from 2017. So kind of stitched, and last 2 years I kind of slowed down on that. And the year started, 2019 started with just barely started in May, and in 2019 I finished May and started June. So yay, right? At least something moved. So I'm hoping in 2019 I'm gonna finish June and July. I have them all over places, and I'm stitching this one on 32 count cream linen 1/1 by using like 3 different color threads. So this is how much I have it. And if you wonder what's those hanging things, it's like little information about the fabric, about the pattern, and things like that. So I pick colors where I want to put in and just kind of move them around, so you can kind of see where the June is started. So that's Linen and Threads Mystery Sampler, full width, so just less than 8 inches. I know that this light might not be the best to do in the dark, but yeah. So that's number 2, and so I'm hoping to do all 2 months at least in 2020. Then in a row would be another Heaven and Earth Designs. It's called What's This? And this size is going to be 350 by 263, and it would be for my eldest child. And that's what it's gonna look like, just like a lion with the looking at the ceiling, at the snow. And I'm doing this on 28 count off-white opalescent linen, 2/1 half stitch. So not much had done. Let's see, I started that in Stitchmania 2017, so it's gonna continue at least in Stitchmania 2020. And I have about, what, 1.5 pages done so far. Ooh, that's so bright. So this is how much I've done. And if you're watching me first time, yes, this is opalescent fabric, and this is shiny Krynic, stitching on a shiny fabric. But this is what it looks right now. And I think after, on the 3rd page or so, I think his like a nose would be showing up. So that's just the top corner kind of stitching right now, just there. So my hopes and plans for this one to do to add another at least page. I think the coverage is fairly good, even though using Kreinik, and but it looks so small when you stitch. Seems like you barely touch it because it's so small in the count, and the pattern is better. I can't remember if I have this on just a paper or PDF file. Anyway, so that's my third oldest WIP. Then, let's see, I'm just trying to get... Then I got from Russian magazine reprint of Saint Little John's Summer Ball. So this is what should be looking like a Pride and Prejudice thing, style pattern. So I started this also in during Stitch Mania 2017, and I have about 45% with a little bit done in this one. So I'm doing this on, where's my tag, on 32 count ivory Lugana 2/2, and the pattern size is 478 wide by 128 stitches high. The black I'm doing 3/2, and all the skin I'm doing 1/1. I did not convert the skin colors or anything like that, but it's still in the frame, and to see better. So all the guys and ladies are back stitched up until like her dress, because that's still needs to be stitched right here. But all those things, oh, my necklace get caught in the magnet. So that's what it looks like, and this is the full width of it, the height I probably should say, and it's still going on, and I still love it. And once I finish this, I have another long one in plans, in the hopes probably those like a 12 Asian ladies or Japanese ladies. There's a long beautiful one that looks amazing. I started to really like stitching people, faces and things like that. So anyway, for this, my hope is to have 60% done, which is almost 40,000 stitches. And if my calculations are correct, so I would have to do 809 stitches a month to reach that goal. So it doesn't sound like a lot in the whole month, right? Just for this. But love stitching on this fabric, and feels so good, and it's a joy to stitch it. I know Sandy, the designer, has several other eras in this style stitch, that's longer ones, but so far I like the most of this one. So that's that. Then comes my ginormous design pattern. So the ginormous one, I'll be like pausing constantly too, so you don't have to see me bending and grabbing some projects. Is this George Washington crossing the Delaware River? Giant group project, and my part is very tip of the sky, very edge of it, and the stitch count size is 396 wide by 549 tall, and yeah, it's gonna be big. So pattern wise, it's like 10 pages wide by 10 pages in height. And we started this on George's birthday, February 22nd of 2018, and I have it done about page, was that 38 out of 100, and it's supposed to be done in 5 years. And then the Heather, whose project sort of baby it is, would put it all together, so it would be a whole picture put together. and it's stitched on 18 count fabric, and I'm just gonna try to show my big blob how much I've done so far. So that's what about hold on, is that 38? Yeah, about that. 38 pages of like a grayish and bluish shades are looking like that in the sky. There is the public Facebook group, there is a website for this project. We're stitching this with threads donated by Sullivan Company and fabric, and there's some specific Stitchy type rules that we have to follow to do that, and there are several other Flosstubers doing this project too. They have a different parts. So yeah, it's my goal. If I calculate it in 5 years, I have to do 2 rows, so I'm almost done with the second year. And so my hope it is to, in the next year, 2020, reach 50 pages at least. It would be nice to get the 60 pages done, but I'm not sure because it's fairly boring, so you have to stitch quickly and a lot before that boredom kicks in, and then pick up something else. So yeah, I used last year a lot this project for how many stitches you have to do per month, and it kept going up and up, and to see who can survive the longest kind of thing. So yeah, so that's one of my giant ones, and the next one would be something totally smaller. It's Stitcher's Alphabet by Brooks Books, and I started mid-May in 2018 during Stitch Mania. And okay, I'll bend it, and I'm stitching this one on let's see, 28 count lamb's wool Joblin 2/2, and I have F almost done, and it involves all kinds of different like things like beads and a cry neck, and in here like all 6 threads together. So it's cute thing, and I have specific spot in my workroom here for this. That's how I planned to set out design. So my plan for that is finish the F, then add the G and H at least. So since I have a lot of designs that I want to work on this year and touch at least a little bit, this is not in as much hurry as like my oh sorry for the creak of the chair, as my gifts that I'm stitching. So that's a Stitcher's Alphabet. Then would be what, how you call it designers just a pattern that I got. So one of them stitching, others are waiting in their line. It's a beard dragon, so it's this cutie. And the designer is Nadezhda Kazarina, and I started this in 2018 Stitch Mania also, and so far it's done about 82.5%. So again, I can tell exact amount by using the software app for that, and it involves also back stitching and the blends and the half stitches. Let me stretch it out. So yeah, and 82 with a little bit, looks like that. And I'm stitching this on 32 count black Belfast 2/2. So design size is 137/146. So that's what the cutie looks like. So all of this up to like here, like this part under my hand is done. So it kind of fills in all stitches here. Then it's gonna be lots of back stitching and stray stitches. And my hope is for this year to finish this fully, stitch and done. So that's a beard dragon. Then I've decided to touch something that I haven't touched the whole last year. It's called Gardens of Semiramis, or like what's that, eighth wonder of the world. Design is by Modern Twist Embroidery, and I think I had like a pic saved for that to insert here. So that's like a what part of design pattern came in here. I got it, I believe, on Etsy from her. So if you're interested, you can also get it. And it involves the canvas. For that, I haven't done much. It's 18 count brown canvas, and pattern size is 87 by 87. And I just kept it on the frame, and you can see kind of what I've done so far right here. Just a very center with the satin DMC thread. So it will involve variegated thread, it will involve different types of beads and different types of stitches. What else it's gonna have? Well, you're gonna have to kind of follow me along this journey. It would be my first such a project, and I'm curious how it's gonna end up, because you can do your own variations in this, but maybe for a first one I would try to stick with it. And it was beautiful story she wrote when she did some research on that those gardens, and it, according to like drawings, it looked amazing, it looked beautiful. So that's Gardens of Semiramis, and for this I'm just hoping to put in like at least 5 hours in it. We'll see how much I'll end up doing it, but for some projects that I could tell how much percentage wise or parts I can do, I calculate that. If for something like this where I wasn't sure, I just wanted to put in some hours, so I would know it would have been touched. So then oh, that was, did I say it was started at the end of May, Mania of 2018? So it's not, it has been 2 years. Then next in a row is another thing that I'm hoping should be done this year, very soon, hopefully before the spring. It's memorabilia. Since I have quite a few of them kitted up, I'll always have them going. And if you're memorabilia fans, you would know for sure what it looks like. It's, oh, where did I put it? Hold on. So it's a Mermaids of Deep Blue, and I started this in airport of when I was going to Europe on end of November of 2018. So it's been just over a year. Hunter, stop it. So the only thing that's left is to do the beading, and I already used some of that in my magical school, some homework and assignments. And it's about, since I added, it's about time to roll up my frame again down. So I had the picture put in, I can put in a picture of what it actually looked like before December 31st. Size, and I rolled it up, and I already finished all of this, like all the way down here. So it's just roll up now from this part with the tails. That's gonna be it. So it's all the beading. You see all the treasures shining on them. It's gonna be amazing, beautiful. And the fabric is 28 count. I bought it from Cindy's Facebook group, Fabric Flare, I believe. I think so. I had it written down somewhere. So anyway, this should be done very soon, since it's also on my Omanic frames, and I want to use those frames for different projects. Then I decided to grab and actually finish another project which I haven't touched in a while, and it's sort of like a group project that I think I started stitching in 2017. It's a Ronald McDonald piece that all of who volunteered picked places like around mandala houses or rooms in hospitals throughout the world, and there was design created especially for that, and we're supposed to stitch and then donate it to those specific like houses and rooms. I need to grab it. Hold on. So the only thing was left for me and is to design like the words for that specific place if we want it. So that's the only thing is left. So this is what it looks like as it is. Sorry for wrinkles, I had to pull out of its packaging. So the words gonna be like right below these, the saying keeping families close. So if you can see, all the whole house is put together with the beautiful, encouraging, hopeful words. That's what's built on, and we can frame it in any way we want. So yeah, I have one in one place in St. Louis Children's Hospital that there is around McDonald, pretty much whole floor where families stay. So I really wanted to finish this year. That's one of my goals. I'm gonna try to do this year as my goal to FFO something, so you can see like right there I already started piling up some of the things that I just stitched and never FFO'd fully. So that's gonna be hopefully fully finished and donated. Then I started next project in January 1st of 2019. So every new year I'm trying to start something new. New year, new day. And this is called 99 by Ink Circles. And you've probably seen on Instagram too, and my regular video updates of this. And I'm stitching this on a suggested fabric, picture this plus ale, and I've done, let's see, 2 full rows and almost half of the third one. So it's when you look, it's 99, so I have to stitch like 3, supposedly about, I want to do like almost 3 rows a year. So my goal is to, right now it's about 26% done. So my goal is by the end of this year, 2020, to have a 50% done. This is very easy. When I would get tired of the giant one where, you know, you can't see the end of it, you do like one bottle, which is just over 100 stitches, I believe. Then it's like something you finished. So it's that excitement still there that you actually complete something. So I want to have it done 50%. Then another giant one. Actually, this year I shortened again how many BAPs I'm gonna have, but I wanted to stitch this again, and I have it on a different type of pattern reader, so hoping to get this more done. It's stitched on 18 count. The stitch count is 450 by 514. It's 48 colors total and 105 blends out of those colors. And I had this pattern special request from lady Adastra that calls herself. So she created this old painting to pattern for me because I fell in love with this painting, and I really wanted to stitch it, and that's how much I've done. According to my program, I'm 0.99% done, so it's almost 1% is this. And I started this on January 31st, 2019, so it's almost been a year, and you can tell that it's just that almost the whole corner shelf is done. So it's gonna be kind of bleak colors in here, and then when it's time to stitch people and this dog, it's gonna be more fun. And Is that when did they say it started? June 31st. Why did I write down that started in February? Anyway, this is called Spoiled Child, and I'm hoping to have it 10% done by the end of the year, which is for this size. If this is 1%, you can kind of imagine how much it's gonna be done. So I want to move this along because I have several big ones in waiting and hopes to stitch. Then another big project I have is a chatelaine, and I started to stitch to celebrate my dad's birthday. And this is Baltic Sea mandala, or when I was trying to find all those extra sets from European cross stitch company where they send you a whole kit if you want. That's what I have to follow by is Otzi, that name, not Baltic Sea mandala. So I debated, I asked your guys' opinions before on what kind of fabric to stitch, because I had very dark, like a navy blue hand-dyed fabric also, or like lighter. I didn't really want this peach cream color fabric. And what one is this Ariel by Picture This Plus. It's 32 count. The pattern is 411 by 411. So the only thing I finished is just the center area, and I started last March. So this is what I've done. It's hard to show in this unnatural light, but let's see, in this color. So there's some already sparkle in there, and acrylic and silks, variegated silks in there, which I try to kind of sort of still do as a pattern, the way the color changes. And my goal for this, since I have so many others, even big ones stitching, just to put at least 5 hours in this too. Yeah, hopefully next year it's gonna be mandala's time, chatelaine's time to bloom. Maybe but that's like a minimum to put in, because usually when I sit down on something, I just want to stitch and stitch until something is like squirrel, you know, grabbing attention. So I think I might have to even also splice this video if I don't start talking faster, because I'm not done yet. So that was number 13, like a 13, and I have 26 of them. So maybe that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the next 13 on a different video, and hopefully I'm not gonna get a bunch of distractions here walking around and knocking on the doors and have to keep pausing. So continuation will be in the second video, so come along with me and after watching this to the second video.